We're recording? Well, let's go. How are you feeling right now, baby?
This is the worst situation for me ever. I want to die 1,000 deaths.
There's a funeral in the village right now.
Ew, get that. Do not wear those while you podcast.
Why? So guys, there's a funeral in the village right now, and so there is a veranda full of people outside. There was not a veranda full of people, and then as soon as we went down to mic check, we
Had a veranda.
a veranda full of people, which is totally fine. But you guys are gonna have to deal with all the background noise, so we're fine if you're fine, right?
John's fine if you're fine.
Yeah, Steph's just a little bit awkward about airing out all of her
I literally
public.
wash my face and then put blush on because I look deathly.
Yeah, you
white.
look horrendous.
And then now there's a veranda full of people, so I'm bright red.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the vibe. We've kind of reset the set a little bit, and actually it's just Tui's side of the set that's really different. But I like that he's chilling on the couch right now. You know, it just makes it feel like more of a family thing.
It's better for his nap halfway through.
No naps. But here's the thing: sometimes this is just life. You got to roll with the punches. I was actually very, very close to just shutting this whole thing down and putting everything away, but I was like, oh, that's gonna be so angering to have set all this up.
This stupid glasses off your stupid face right now.
Why?
No, this is not happening all night.
It's my future.
Okay.
So bright.
John just pretending he's in another galaxy far, far away right now.
Can I wear these the whole time?
All right, put in the comments if this ever happens again, how many times I should slap him in the face.
It's actually really comfortable.
They're great
The old
glasses.
Slayers.
They're good glasses for life.
Are they polarized?
Driving. Yes, they're all polarized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell when you're in the water?
Well, I don't swim with those, so no.
Oh,
Can I?
on a boat.
Oh. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really good at recognizing that. But I wear them for driving, which I find they're really lightweight and easy.
Mm.
And they're
Kinda like
cheap.
you.
And they came in what?
You're lightweight.
Yeah. And they came in a pair of two. $30-something.
Amazon, baby. Amazon.
I got into the death trap of scrolling today on Amazon buys.
Really?
You could buy this. It's like Lululemon, but cheaper. And I was like,
What are you doing to yourself?
I don't know. I'm going back to Canada soon. I got into death hole of
Oh shit.
shopping online. I was
Not
I have
good.
nothing to wear. I don't have anything warm. I'm gonna freeze.
We're
my
trying to
butt
clear
off.
off the credit card, remember?
I know, but I was I need a few pants. That's what I was looking for. And
Because you have no winter clothes?
I have no winter clothes. So I'm gonna freeze when I go.
We have a great lady that we really have enjoyed employing in Canada. She's been a really good staff member, and so some family things have changed. She's of East Indian descent, and so they all live kind of her in-laws, and her and her husband all live in one house, and so she has to, she's basically been told that she has to come back to the house to look after some of the family, and so she's stepping away from her job, which puts...
She might be back in April.
Yeah, she might be coming back, but
She said.
why we're talking about Stephanie maybe going to Canada is because this lady now leaves a gap that needs to be filled, and so we're in a good position with our business in Canada right now. We're getting more.
It's good and bad. We're lacking in staff, and I have an excess of clients, so it's never a bad position to be in.
Yeah,
But it's bad when you live on the other side of the world, and you're like, oh wait, I have nobody to work right now.
yeah, exactly. Where you could just fill in and not be so stressed about having to find somebody or
Yeah.
screwing things up, because right now we're kind of oh, if somebody's sick, we got to cancel on people.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we have a residential and commercial cleaning company in Canada called Organic and Clean. I don't know. What do we do?
13 years?
Yeah, 13 years.
What do we
Last
do?
year was our best year ever. We did 13 million net.
Yeah, okay. Just living in this house, 13 million. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Why? I wouldn't change a thing.
I would paint all my
Would you change
walls
a thing?
blue,
Would you-
always.
Would you change a thing?
I would change screens on the windows.
Oh.
So we don't have so many rats
Yeah.
crawling into my room
Mm.
and less geckos, because in the morning, we came home the other day we scrubbed the house. Like the boys and us, like cleaned everything. I felt like, and like washed the floors. Everything was like clean. And the next day, I like woke up and it was like gecko poop, gecko poop.
Oh,
I'm just like,
okay.
I
It's
gotta
not like.
freak out. Yeah, no, we were living in a house of lizards, bro.
Yeah, it's true. We do need to start offing some of these bad boys.
Yeah, like the lizards outnumber the people.
Actually, I'm looking around right now. For the
by,
first
like-
time in my life, I can't see it. I see one. Okay. That's it. That's not bad.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say
I see two. Never
they're-
mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in the
Oh,
shadow.
three. Okay, fine. They're coming out. We're talking
And you
about
know
them.
what's really pathetic? There's like a few of the big ones that I slightly feel attached to. I
Yeah?
feel kind of bad killing Fred,
You don't have to kill Fred. Keep Fred.
like in Thelma.
I don't really know
Ethel?
Thelma.
They're out in the kitchen.
Oh, I
They're
don't know.
huge. They're giants.
Yeah?
They're no longer geckos. They are lizards.
After lizard, what is the next step in the
Iguana.
iguana?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we get to Komodo dragon.
Ooh.
There's levels to the game, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should bring some Komodo dragons to Fiji. They probably thrive here.
Yeah, they would. That would be the problem. I don't need a.
Actually, Fiji's so ideal. Like, if you want to raise kids or raise a family.
Or raise any kind of animal. What's happening?
No, but it's such a safe place. There's no predators. There's no poisonous spiders.
Yeah.
There's no poisonous snakes. There's no poison. There's no poisonous insects even.
Yeah.
Like you can get bit by like a
Debatable. There's
centipede.
centipedes.
Yeah, but you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
You're not gonna die. It's gonna
Guys,
hurt.
shh.
Like
Shh. Breaking news. Alan showed me a baby scorpion the other day.
yeah.
Okay, it was like so small that I was not scared of it.
I feel like that little like stinger thing would hurt though. I feel like
Oh,
ooh
it
that bad boy would hurt.
Yeah. But like I didn't know they had scorpions here. And that was like on the random
Because I've heard people
islands in
call
the middle of the ocean.
scorpions the silverfish,
Oh.
the little black split
Yeah,
tail
yeah,
things
that's
that are always
right.
in the
I
bananas.
hate those things.
And people say, "Oh, scorpion, scorpion." And so when we were sitting on the beach the other day, we're like, "Scorpion." I was like, "Scorpion, yeah, okay." And then like showed me, I'm like, "Holy crap, that's a little scorpion."
Yeah, it was so weird.
I didn't even know that. I honestly didn't know that we had scorpions in
No, it
Fiji.
was so weird. I was really surprised.
Mom's always talked about scorpions, but I think in Tonga, like they had lots of scorpions.
Oh, okay.
And so I've always been wondering, like, do we have scorpions here in Fiji or not?
I would have like bet money that we didn't.
We should we should have brought them back.
Why?
To this
Like,
island.
To breed them. Leave it out in the middle of the ocean, please. Anyway, we're out there. John and I went diving for the funeral. We got like a decent amount of fish.
Not much though. Yeah, you came out for the full day of diving.
Yeah, and we went to like some deep places, and there was
You
a
did some deep drops out there.
plethora of sharks. Yeah, okay, so I was like making sure.
There's like, okay, just so you guys know, there's
7
a
to
shark.
8.
There's
There
a
was about
couple
7 to 8, and there
couple
was a bull
sharks.
shark.
There's a few sharks. There's several sharks. After several is plethora, which means less than 10, more than 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
So
is
not a
quite few
plethora.
sharks, and there was a bull shark, and you didn't see it, and you swam away from me, and I was by myself. I was panicking.
Okay, how about when Alan was down on the bottom and you're...
Oh, dude, that killed me. Okay, so we went to a second spot that was like dark and murky as heck, and we were out there, and I was just being like, in my mind, I'm like, you're fine. You can do this. Because I have a thing where if I'm scared of something, I like make myself do it because I don't want to be like a fearful person jumping off a big rock, like cliff diving, whatever. I'll just do it because I don't want to be a wuss. We're in this like murky water, and it feels sharky and it feels fishy. And then John's like coming back to the boat with this fish that he got, and Alan comes out of like the depths of the ocean, just like surfacing, and he's like wearing this black shirt, and I'm in my snorkel, oh, saying some profanities. John's about to be eaten. Yeah, I was like, oh, Alan, you scared the junk out of me. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. Hi.
Yeah, I came back. You're in the boat.
Yeah, I was over it.
Like, what the heck? In the last few days, I was like doing by myself.
It's
Like,
too much
alright.
trauma.
You can recover from it.
I
How much did it help though on the way there? I was like, think happy thoughts. Like,
No,
think
it
of how much
didn't
you love
help.
your kids.
It
Think about how Harley's a great dog.
It actually didn't help me at all. It actually kind of just made me overthink. I think normally,
No, you've done the best dives that you've ever done.
I've never gone out that deep. I told you my breath hold is as long as yours. horizontally. When we swim in the river horizontally, I can hold my breath as long as you can.
No, you can't. But okay.
We did a competition, me, you, and Aliki.
We'll agree to disagree.
And I was either the winner or on par. I can't remember. But I just like, when I go down, I get like nervous that I don't have enough air to go up.
Hmm.
And so I start thinking, like, will I be okay? How long can I hold my breath for? And like, honestly, I have good lungs. And then I kind of start thinking about sharks. Like, I went to go get that one, like, speckled fish. And then I, like, got down there and I was like heading towards the fish. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get this one. And then all of a sudden the shark was like,
Okay, no.
why? Like,
Oh my gosh.
Were you there? Did you
Yes,
see
I
it?
saw you shooting at the Dhumu.
I didn't
And
shoot,
nobody
so
shoots Dhumu.
I did
That
not
is-
shoot, though.
don't
I didn't
shoot them.
number one. Number two.
You did shoot. You
No, I didn't. I saw the shark and I started panicking.
Oh.
And I was like, get me out of here.
I saw you try to shoot one though, and you missed.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I missed because I didn't realize the gun wouldn't go any further. I thought you guys gave me a different gun, and that was the first time I shot.
Well, they took a rubber off. Like it's a double rubber gun.
Yeah, well, I was expecting like some like gun power, and it was like weaker than my gun. I felt like.
Yeah.
And
I think
was
that-
like, why am I using this gun? This is not
Yeah.
even as good as my regular.
Oh, but you put me onto a good water though.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Spearfishing podcast, guys.
Okay, sorry. It's true.
No, it's okay.
Okay, but my thought was, okay, this is me in the ocean. I saw this giant wallow and went, is that a shark? Should I shoot it? Can't tell. And so I was like, John, we'll know. And so I grabbed his fin and I was like,
You
why
pulled
are-
it? You're
Why are
like,
you
"Whoa."
not seeing this fish or a shark? And then John chased it and I was like, oh, obviously it's a fish. I should have shot it.
Oh yeah, I was like, well, when I looked at it, I thought it was a big doggy, or I thought it was a small dogtooth tuna.
Yeah, and I probably would have drowned if I shot it. It probably would have dragged me to the ends of the ocean. So I'm really glad I didn't shoot it.
I tried. I put a shot in it. It hit it, and then but the flopper didn't go all the way through,
Yeah.
and so it came off right away.
Oh, so we did our staff party just like the day before we were out diving.
Hmm.
And they had I think everybody had a pretty good time.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. We stayed out. We
Honestly,
rented
like-
Alan's brother's house or cousin's house, sorry.
Oh man, you're exhausting me. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I just had to hit on. I'm gonna blame it on you because you're my wife. Honestly, I don't know if
Everything.
I would do it again because it was just like it wasn't a lot of work. It was just a lot of work. It was.
I'm gonna say it was
Yeah.
more work for me than it was for you. No? You disagree with that? Did you cook for 2 days straight before?
Did you look after the kids while you cooked for 2 days straight?
Honey, you did not look after
Here's the thing. So
kids.
women can always
Don't-
take.
What did you
What
do?
am I
Wait,
gonna say? What did you even do?
To like look after the kids? Did you make them lunch? Oh no, I made them lunch while I was cooking. Just like, what did you do to take care of them? What was the hardship in that?
I don't know. They're still alive.
Yeah, our children are pretty self-sufficient, honey.
Yeah. Well, I do things too and keep busy. All right.
I agree, but you were working.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I cooked for 2 days, and after that,
You're
I
right.
was like,
Stephanie always does way more work than me. So you
You-
cooked for 2 days.
you
It
were,
was
like,
a lot
in, like,
busier. It
mood, like.
was a lot busier for you than it was for me, as you were saying.
I was saying there's a lot of work cooking for 2 days, and maybe next time we go to a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, I think next time all we do is just do what Alan said, and just
yeah,
do fish, just eat fish
just
the whole
eat
time.
fish.
Because like really, we got out there. It was after breakfast, and so we did fish on the fire for that lunch because we did a picnic lunch, and then in the evening we could have just done like surwa,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the next morning you could have made the crisp or whatever if you wanted to, or we could have just brought a bunch of bread,
Easy, though.
like the crisp, right? And then for lunch the next day we could have fried fish,
Yeah.
and then we were gone. So like I think next time we just get Alan to do what he did and just like go get a bunch of fish and stock up.
Yeah, it's true.
And then we don't have to worry about cooking lamb stew and doing all this. Like, nobody even liked the food that you made anyway. So
Wow, yeah. See to his face? He's like, no, heck no, so good. I actually wanted to cook for the girls specifically because I never get to cook for them, like outside of what I've taught them to cook.
yeah, so don't complain. You're trying to show off and then complain about the fact that like
Not
you
trying
try to show off.
I was trying to do something nice for them.
It was just for them.
Yeah.
It wasn't because you wanted to show them your cooking.
No, I was trying to do something nice for them.
For them.
Yeah.
Selfless.
Do
I
it.
feel so alive.
Okay, sing this song. You stop.
Okay. But are you sure that like your slaving away that you're complaining about was selfless? Was for
I
them?
was not complaining about it. I was just saying it was a lot of work.
Well, I was one
for
who was
me.
originally telling the story.
You were saying it was a lot of work for you, and I was kind of thinking to myself.
No, I
like,
said it was a lot of work. You're like, well, honestly, it was a lot of more work for
honestly,
me.
like, what did John do for preparation? Like mental preparation, yes, but like, I did pack everything and cook. I feel like I did the majority of the work.
Well,
Haters gonna hate.
haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. Anyway, we should probably move on from this because I feel like you're just like you are a hater.
Am I?
A little bit. A little bit. What are we doing for Christmas? You don't know?
Oh, we're going to Sub-Sabo. We're going to Sub-Sabo.
Gosh. Yeah, we're renting a house there.
I was thinking about how I was gonna.
I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't think you should say that. That's
Okay, we're
so-
gonna have to beat that.
Okay. Dude, you need to pause it.
No, it's okay. He has a time marker.
Did you time mark it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to recover from this. Anyway, we're going to start from here. John just said something super inappropriate, and Tui had to cut it out because it was horribly inappropriate. And he's just in a mood, you guys. You don't know. This is what I
I'm
have
feeling
to
frisky,
live
okay?
with.
I'm feeling frisky. I started off with the sunglasses.
Yeah. I should hate that word. It's kind of like, I don't like the word frisky. It's kind of like the word moist. It's
Ooh. Moist is a weird word. Frisky is less weird than moist, though, I will say.
No, I actually disagree. I'm the opposite. I think frisky is a gross, disturbing word.
Really?
And I've said it 3 times now. And
Yeah, I
every
know.
time
But so if somebody came home, and they were like babysitting your kids, and like, how did you have a good time? I'm like, yeah, it was frisky.
No, I'd be like, you're never coming back here. You're such a creep. Get out.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. It's never-
Frisky, just because it is related to being frisked.
No.
Did you frisk him down?
I don't think that frisky is.
Frisking?
I think it's like meaning like you have like
Like a-
high libido and like you're like feeling like
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome to the English language. Actually, what were we debating the other day? I was saying to you, we were trying to film a vlog, and then I don't think we're using it at all. And you were like, "Oh, we're out at Allen's again," and I was like, "Yeah, welcome to our regular haunt."
Oh,
You
haunt. Yeah, that was a stupid word.
You were like, "What is that?" Like, it's a place that you frequent, that you go often. You're like haunting it, like this is your.
Which made sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go.
It's still a stupid word to use. I wouldn't recommend anybody ever use it. Unless you wanted to get into a discussion about how the words that you're using in the discussion complicate the discussion itself.
Well,
and then the discussion actually becomes more about the words used inside of the conversation than the actual topic of the conversation
Sometimes
itself.
I forget that you don't know English that well, even though it is your first.
It's my second language.
It's definitely your first language, and I don't know, you just don't have a very wide vocabulary.
It's true.
Actually, there's some like Instagram posts that I saw, and all these black guys were like, "The best thing."
Well,
that
you
I
love black
about-"
guys, huh?
I do.
Yes.
The best thing that I love about white people is all the funny things that they say. Like things like
Haunt?
our regular haunt or like just little idioms. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then they were like complaining. They're like, where did all those go? You guys need to bring it back. And I'm like, just in my mind, I was thinking like, I'm the only one like hanging in strong, me and my mom. We've got all the sayings.
I got all the jokes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did pretty good with dad jokes. I realized when I went back to Canada
Yes.
that I kind of got the dad joke thing rolling pretty
Yeah?
good. Oh yeah, I made the room go silent a couple times. Oh yeah, where people are like, really?
Really, John?
And then like all like the dads, like the old dads, are
And they
like
laughed.
they're like That's good. I like that one. Yeah.
It's because John has been an old soul since he was like 17. And so now he's like an old man.
Why don't we go through some of my most recent quotes that I put on my phone?
Okay.
Because that's always fun for you, low IQ people.
Like, what? Yeah, thank you, Tui. Tui's in the background shaking his head. Being also on my team being like, what is wrong with John?
Oh, okay. I like this one. Hey, you're making fun of my ability to speak English language. This is from the Peaky Blinders, which is
Oh, yeah. This was actually good.
yeah.
John and I have been watching Peaky Blinders, and I can't say I actually recommend it on, like, smuttiness. Like, there's a bit of smut in there, so caution.
Also, don't know what that word means, but we'll move on. So, what is smut? Do you know what smut means? Yeah.
You do not know what smut
See, this is annoying because now,
Oh
see
my God.
see what just happened. Now we're talking about the word that she used more than we're talking about
just
the actual
means, like,
topic of a conversation.
inappropriate behavior on the show. Like,
Let's just say inappropriate behavior.
that's a very common. I did not think that was like out of the realm of like regular speech.
Okay, Mother Teresa. Okay, this was a quote from Peaky Blinders last night. The guy's talking about his dad. He, my father, told fortunes and he stole horses. Often he would tell a man that his horse would be stolen and they would marvel at his powers when it was.
Say it again. One more time.
He, my father, told fortunes and stole horses. Often he would tell a man that his horse would be stolen and they would marvel at his powers when it was.
Yeah. He would go rob them and they'd be like, wow.
I love that. Because there's something about,
You
like-
told my fortune. It came true because he robbed.
right? It's not like, hey, your horse is going to get stolen tomorrow. And then their horses would get stolen tomorrow. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. But I thought of it from more like a marketing business perspective. Like, if you can pretend to predict the future, it makes you way more credible. So if you can
Yeah.
tell people that XYZ is going to work and you know that it's actually going to
This
work
is
in this
about
way,
to
or you can, you have the experience in sales or marketing or whatever it is, then people will be like, oh, wow, he said that was going to happen. And you're like, yeah, it's like, it doesn't have to be like you're lying to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if we do this XYZ, we're going to get like ABC. And then ABC happens and they're like, wow, he said that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just,
But it's harder to do than just talk.
yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
To think about like the strategy. Actually,
But I think when it comes to first impressions or like your first time working with a business, I think that is you never have a better opportunity to impress than your first impression. After that, it's really all downhill. So everybody should, like, when you go to a job interview, that is you will never look better to your boss than the day you do your job interview.
which I'm gonna say is not true for me. Not me personally, but
Oh,
when I interview,
Okay.
I am great at interviewing. I'm gonna say I am a great
Wow.
interviewer. But when I actually have to like be the one interviewing people in our company in Canada, I hire this like I give them personality tests, and typically the people that I hire that are really great for the job are
I think you're
super
hearing me wrong. I think you're
awkward.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think you're going down the road of being like, oh no, the people I hired don't do well in interviews, and then they really perform well.
Yeah.
I'm saying that they had the opportunity to look better than they ever would. They just don't interview well.
Oh.
I'm saying the
Yeah, that's-
opportunity to look good is best at the job interview stage, because like they don't know anything about you, so you can talk like you're like king of the world, and run it like freaking Joe Biden or Donald Trump, whoever you want to be. But like they wouldn't know. They don't know you from a hole in the wall,
Yeah.
and so when the time comes for you to actually start your employment,
Your grandmother's trying to talk
Then-
to you right now.
oh, yeah. You'll never look better than the time that you do your first interview.
Yeah.
Unless you just don't interview well.
What was your first interview ever?
I don't think I actually interviewed for my job at the co-op. My first job ever was a job at a grocery store.
Okay. And how did you get that job?
I don't even remember. I don't think I interviewed. I think they just
Knew you.
Yeah, they just knew me
In
and
such
they
a small town.
wanted me to work. I was a big guy, and so
Okay.
they needed somebody who could offload the trucks.
Okay, I see.
Big Tuna, they used to call me. Big Tuna.
I
I'm not lying. That's what Greg Manson called me from the day that he met me.
What?
Big Tuna.
Big
I'm
tuna.
like, why are you calling me Big Tuna? He's like, I don't know. It just like suits you.
That's
So Greg Manson always called me Big
unacceptable.
Tuna.
Okay, that's not acceptable.
Is it?
It's like, what kind of weird nickname is that? You fishy, baby. I think my first interview was at Tim Hortons. I'm so Canadian that way. It was one of my first jobs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you interview for your first ever job? Like I'm saying, the co-op was my first ever job that I got paid for. I had a T4 slip for.
Yeah.
You didn't. Your first job was at a church. You didn't interview for that job,
No,
and you got a
That was
T4.
not my first job.
No.
That was not my first job.
Oh.
My first job, I think, was Tim Hortons.
And you interviewed for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I got so stressed. I remember like having to learn the till after I like got the job, and like I was so stressed about knowing it. It was like a lot of pressure when you have customers and you're like screwing it up. I like dreamt about it all night, and the next day I kind of knew it well. Like
You guys didn't have like a touch screen at that time? Did you already or not?
no, we did.
You did.
You just have
Wow.
to know where all the buttons are, and like you go and like you're like, okay, you want a double. Okay.
We actually had a touch screen.
Yeah.
Whoa, back in no.
Yeah.
It's like before touchscreen phones.
Even like okay,
Well, it's
so
like before
I
touchscreen phones.
I waitressed at the same time I was at Tim Hortons. I was saving up money to go to Haiti, and so even at my waitressing job, they had like no, they didn't have a touch screen. We had like a old computer where you had to put like arrow down, arrow down. It was so freaking hard. I screwed up so much. That was like the hardest waitressing job I've ever done in my whole life, just because of the screen that you had to use to order food. But Tim Hortons was pretty easy. It was like for dummies, you know. But you know, gotta love the hairnets and the high waisted.
Oh, okay. The Timmy's uniforms are
so
the
bad.
worst. It's like a button shirt,
Yeah.
button up shirt,
High neck,
and you have to have a gun.
and well, the pants are really
The
high.
pants are really, really
The
high.
pants go above your belly button.
Yeah.
Because they just do with a belt.
Yeah.
And you have to wear a hairnet and a visor with this like high neck collared shirt.
Yeah.
And no one looks cute in it. And you're just like, but you still, when you work the drive through, you'll still get guys' numbers because it is what it is.
Because you're so good at it.
They're like, wow, you make such a good double. Yeah, I was the
What is
worst.
that code
I
word
was
for?
really bad at that job, actually.
Really?
I just like remember sometimes.
What'd you get addicted to at that job?
Ooh, what are those called?
Other than flirting at the drive-thru.
I was really good at that.
Yeah.
French vanillas.
Yeah. I knew it.
Okay, but I didn't even drink very many of them. We get like free drinks, and I bring them home to my sister and my mom.
Oh, they got her addicted to
And
that?
my sister, like, she'd always be like, "That was the first year I ever got fat." Because my sister's like really skinny. I think she gained like 15 pounds while I worked there because I kept bringing her home French vanillas, and she got like mad addicted.
That's funny. What is a French vanilla?
I have no idea. It has some sort of coffee in it, and it's like vanilla-y and French. I don't know. No, it's just like...
It's like a hazelnut something-ish.
Just delicious. That's what
It is, yeah, Tui would like it. Oh, okay, if they brought French...
If we brought Tui to Canada...
If we start doing French vanillas at the coffee shop...
How could you do that?
I know, you could figure out a way. That'd be a thing.
French vanilla... yeah. Okay, I'm going to go on Pinterest, and I'm going to see if there's like...
French vanillas or like make...
You know how they like do hacks? Like French vanilla hack. We'll see if they have that.
Dude, if we could recreate the Tim Hortons iced cappuccino...
Well, I pretty much have.
No, it's too chunky.
Nope.
It's too chunky.
No, it was not chunky at all.
You know what we need to do? We
Oh
need to
my
go...
gosh, guys, don't listen, John. I actually know how to make an ice cap.
No, it's chunky.
There's 0 chunks in it. So.
Yeah, the ice was not
Yeah,
shredded.
it was.
Sharded.
When we had the bullet.
Sharded?
When we had the bullet.
Sorry.
When we had the bullet, I was making the best ice caps ever, and I was crushing those all the time. That was hard.
We need to go get that nice blender, the one with the actual close down thing, from that store in the Motor City. The actual, like, booster juice kind of blender. The one that's, like, super commercial.
I used to have a Ninja at home. Oh, those are great blenders.
You still have a Ninja at home. I actually have 2 Ninjas.
Trying to just be racist towards him.
What? Am I not your Ninja?
No, you're not.
Okay.
And actually, I feel like most Fijians would not consider themselves actually black. So
No, because
I'm just gonna put that out
Islanders, black people,
there. So I don't
different.
I don't think you can claim that then. So you just said it.
Yeah,
yourself.
but the nice thing about me,
Okay.
nice thing about me as an Islander was that I blended between. I could be Italian. I could be Métis. I could be Native.
John
I could
can
be
pull off
black.
a really great Mexican when he has a little mustache.
I could be Mexican.
He is Pedro all the way when you have a mustache.
Hey, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of my mustache.
It's really funny, actually.
Quote number 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
John just loves his quotes.
There's a great, if you guys,
For writing this down. Ooh, guys.
you
you're the
guys
president
have
of the
access
quote
to
master.
all sorts of streaming websites that I don't need to mention. Seriously, go watch The Boy, The Mole, The Fox, and the Horse.
No, don't. Okay,
Stephanie hated it.
Boring,
Stephanie
and
hated
I wasted my life watching
It's
that.
20 minutes.
Ugh.
2 of you would actually really enjoy it. It's just
Maybe. It's kind of like
no, but there's
slow
there's
and,
so
like,
many deep lessons inside of that 20-minute cartoon. So I actually have 2 things written.
John would like it. It was just like really
I got so emotional watching it.
deep.
It's
and
based on a book. So if you guys want, you can go back and read the actual book. But this is just like a short cartoon based on it.
I'm
And
gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
no, it's 9, 10 out of 10. Low IQ people would probably rate it 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Asking for help isn't giving up. It is refusing to give up. That was a good one.
Say it again.
Asking for help isn't giving up. It is refusing to give up. Okay? Second quote. Most of the old moles I know wish they had listened less to their fears and more to their dreams.
Ooh.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Well, I feel like that one resonates with you because you just agree with it.
Well, because that's what most people, like people say, like don't be controlled by your fears, but like this kind of like puts it in a different. People are like, oh, what does it mean to be controlled by my fears? Well, this is like the way this says it is like, that just means like your actions and the things that you do in life are the result of you being fearful of something rather than wanting to actually go and be proactive. You're always being reactive. You're constantly not sure. You're constantly not knowing like if I should do the thing because what if this happens? But then like, and then there's some people who just know, like they know all these things are a potential risk, but then they just send it anyways.
Yeah. And do you feel like that was a good choice for yourself to send the risk out the window? Have we done our like adventure well?
Yeah, I just don't think it's never over. Like the thing is, like when you like risk and you feel like, okay, this is the big. I'm gonna quit the job. Oh, I'm gonna get that job. Oh, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna commit to getting my master's. You're like, this is the big thing, and I'm risking it all. And then like, guys, if you just keep pursuing the thing that you're pursuing, eventually there's gonna be another next biggest thing.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this is a hard.
Because that's the position that we're in right now. Is we've moved to Fiji, we've, given up a very comfortable, know what you're gonna get kind of lifestyle, and now we're at a stage where we're like, oh, we did the big thing. We're like, we've done what needs to be.
Chunk out of me.
We've done the hard thing. We've done what needs to be done as far as us taking control of our dreams and being proactive. And then it's like, okay, we're 4 years into it. We haven't given up. And now we're at a very pivotal stage again.
Yeah.
And it's like, Ooh, I thought we did the hard thing already.
Well, and it's hard when you get like you become adjusted and comfortable again. Like I feel like we're comfortable with our lifestyle right now. We're used to it.
Mm.
And so it's always like the push to live in discomfort or the unknown that's
Mm.
really hard because like people will look at us now and go, "Oh, like, you know, relative to what we had before, you're living a very uncomfortable lifestyle." But because we've been living it for 5 years now, we're very comfortable with it. We know our surroundings, we have our room. We
We have a room.
what we do. We live in one little room. And I stay in there all day mostly working. But you know, you get comfortable with your lifestyle, and then to make any big adjustments is risk, regardless if it, even if it's a fancier adjustment, even if it was to like, oh, we're gonna go live in like a nicer house or you know like an improved lifestyle. It's still you're like, oh, change.
Mm.
It's a risk, right?
Yeah.
It's always scary. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad or a big improvement. The change once you're comfortable and happy is really hard to make. So
I just think at the end of your life, you end up a lot more satisfied with a lot less regrets. If you're somebody that did life with the dreaming portion being the thing that you make the decisions on, not the fear portion.
yeah, I agree.
Dude, there's so many people that like we are friends with who like don't want to be doing what they're doing, but they can't.
You can't change
They
it.
can't change it. They're like,
The risk level is too hard.
but they don't like. That's the thing. That's a funny thing about people who don't want to take risks, because most of them don't have anything to lose anyways.
I know.
And it's like, what's the worst thing that happens? You end up right freaking back here.
Mm. But I think
It's
how
like, why I
you
work
live.
so hard to get to this stage.
Yeah, but people are risk averse. Like they don't want to have to take the jump or the leap or put themselves in jeopardy of any kind. So I think that's pretty normal. I think that's most common.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. Like I think we're a good partnership. I love risk more, I think, than you do.
Mm-hmm.
I like to just pull the trigger and jump in, and you like to know, like, let's do this, but like, let's think it out. Let's have more of a plan than just like
Yeah.
go for it. I think we're a really good combination together to take risk. I think a lot of people don't have that like we're gonna just like okay, let's just do it kind of personalities.
Mm.
But like I think like me by myself is not the best because I will just do it without a plan. I'll just go for it, and I can still make it happen. It'll just be more of like a
Adventure.
like a winged situation.
Right.
And you will plan it out, but it might take you years to execute on it,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, well, I'm the kind of guy that like just overthinks everything, overplans, and yeah, ends up in the weeds. You need to go check on that. Guys, like I said, we got a house full of people. But yeah, I think as things go, I think I am definitely the person who is way more. Sorry, guys, I'm very distracted by everything that's going on here. I spend way too much time thinking and contemplating, and then so you need the balance of people who will actually just like pull the trigger fast, and people who will do the data analysis.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap up for the night. I think everybody's going to bed. I think we'd encourage you guys to, if you want to do something, just pull the trigger, jump in.
Wow, you're just shutting this down? Dude, I got so many quotes.
No, there is a lot going on in the background, and I think I'm done. So, yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Anyway, is there any last closing words that you would like to say?
Ooh.
John's got like an ending quote, so you guys got to wait for it.
Grief is just love with nowhere to go.
That is the worst ending quote of all time.
Yeah, I think about that. I've thought about that so much lately because it feels like there's been a lot of grief in everybody's
Okay,
life.
it is appropriate. We are currently in the middle of a funeral, so okay.
Yeah. And like I feel like we've all in this room at least like lost people recently that are close to us or close to people that we love. And so we're walking with friends or family through loss and stuff like that. And I just heard that quote a few months ago and I'm like, man, that just feels so true to me.
Mm.
And it makes it feel like it's okay. Like it's okay to grieve because it's just like the love that you would have shown or felt
Mm.
or expressed towards that person no longer having that person to go to. So it just comes out as grief,
Great. Yeah.
which is actually just love.
Yeah. And that's beautiful in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine to grieve. I think that's. I don't like crying out like in public or I do though, and I think it's something that like you just have to get used to. I think culturally, I think the nice thing I like about Fiji is people do grieve publicly.
Mm.
I would say that I would prefer if there was more follow up or continuation with that, or like talking about feelings instead of just crying. But I would say, like in Canada, to cry in front of people is really embarrassing. Like the output of emotion, like people try to like bottle it, and I
Mm.
don't think that's healthy. And I always wonder, like sometimes when I cry, like I get embarrassed, like I kind of panic about it, and I always wonder, like, why am I so like embarrassed about this? It's a very normal reaction, and it's actually not like a weak reaction. It's okay, and it just takes me like a lot of like effort and I don't know, just like I have to push through the fact that I'm really embarrassed to cry in front of people and just be like, it's okay, you're allowed to cry.
Dude, you weep openly.
I
at
know, that's
the-
what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I do. I say
yeah.
I do it, but
I
I'm
know.
embarrassed about it. Like when I do it, I'm dying inside. Like I want to like, I'm like. Ooh.
Sometimes I wish I could do what you do. I'm like, oh, she's good. Oh, she's good. She turns it on.
I can't. I can't talk about emotional things without crying.
Let's talk about something right now.
No, I literally could. Like if we do, if it's like really bad, I'll just cry.
I don't what? I don't cry.
John like never cries. The only person he ever cries with is me, or
Just-
maybe his dad, which is random. I feel like that's a random relationship to be able to like. I don't know if
You've never seen me cry?
Well, I've seen you cry with a little bit.
Tui is saying he's never seen John cry, or he has with John.
How to deal with? I feel like you're good at dealing with emotional stuff than John is.
Tui
John
is saying,
feels a bit awkward.
yes, Tui is saying that I
Really?
deal with emotional stuff better than John. Do you know what it is? I was talking to Archie about this the other day, and I was saying to her, I said like,
Is this an old man, old woman the other day? Like last year sometime?
no, this is like over our staff holiday.
Oh, okay, okay.
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 Anyway.
Well, just the other day there,
Like, trying to wrap
we
up
were
our
just around.
podcast, and now I'm just like trying to get a story out. Anyway, okay. So we were talking about it, and I was saying to her, yeah, like something I like want is to like push John more into like saying what he wants to say in the moment with staff, like with you girls or that kind of thing. And I was saying to her, I said the reason why he hesitates so much is because his intensity, and I think like he feels like he scares people when he like communicates stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, he does. Like whenever he like corrects us, like he looks like, and this was her words, not mine. She was like murderer face, like he is like a serial killer face. And I was like, that's what I say. He has like an axe murderer face. That's what I call it.
What?
Like it gets like, well, your serious face is like terrifying. And so I feel like you know that, and so
Yeah.
you kind of like don't want to unleash that on everybody and make them scared of you because you're not a scary person.
I felt like it's funny because you guys are talking about this, but like my trip to Canada was like super emotional. I felt like I cried like everywhere I went.
Obviously, because you were like with your friends that cry. Like you guys are emotional.
Oh
together. You
yeah,
have,
we were
like,
all crying
that's
with
like
each
your
other.
friend group that's like super emotional together, which is like weird. And that's not who you are anymore. But when you're with those people, for sure.
Yeah, we got into this. Oh, dude, it's there's a song by Ben Rector, and it's just called Old Friends. And like one of the lyrics are like, you can have new friends, but like you just will never have. They're never old friends. And this like the history, like you can have better friendships now than like you had in the past, but like the people that you grew up with, like they know stuff about you, like nobody else will know, and not because like it's a secret, but because like it's not relevant anymore. They saw you like when you're trying to hold hands with that girl, or like when
Yeah.
you were like crushing on like this chick, and it's just like, you know, like all the weird things that you did together. And so
But also, like, I think you also miss, like, in Fiji, you don't have very in-depth relationships that are emotionally, like, deep.
mm,
And so going back to that friend group specifically in Canada, like, they're, like, the deepest, like, most, like, they want to talk in a deep emotional way.
yeah,
And so, like, that would be hard going from, like, surface level relationships to, like, the most in depth, like, relationships ever. It's a hard transition. And also, like, you're there because your grandma's, like, dying, or you.
I feel like me and
scared
Tui
she's
can go
dying.
pretty deep
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
deep, Sarah. Yeah.
okay. I just want to say it sounds. I can't. I'd have to mute myself.
The yeah, there's there was four of us friends that grew up like really close to each other and played video games together and nerded out and made music on weird instruments and stuff like that. And one of our friends is not walking with the Lord, so we think. And so there was a moment where like three of us were sitting around, and I got emotional because I was like, man, it's just weird how the other guy, he was like part of this group, and now he's just not here in this room, and
Yeah.
he's, you know, he's just walking a very different path than we all are, and who knows what, you know, what God's got in store for him. But it was like, yeah, it's stuff like that, you know, where you're sitting around and you're like, well, this was very rarely just three of us. It always used to be four of us.
Yeah.
And it probably will never be four of us again. So there's stuff like that. And then was also with my grandma. I got a lot of footage actually that I did some hymns with my grandma.
Which is nice.
I did hymns with her though. Like where
You
I asked
did?
her a question and she would
Oh,
answer it,
really?
and I just haven't put it out. I don't know. I just didn't know if I wanted to or not. But like everything, I was soaking up every moment with her.
Good.
Yeah, it was so good. It's just like
It's
real.
like nice to have intentional time.
Oh, and it was weird because like when you visit somebody and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'll get to see you again, and I know she knows that, like she thinks that way.
Yeah.
Like every time we see each other, it's like
She
a blessing.
definitely does.
Yeah, it's like, man, when you have that perspective, you really are just like everything you say. Like I'm just like, wow, I'm gonna try to lock that away. I want to remember that about you. You know.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of life is just like, yeah, like expecting to see the person, and then grief hits where you're like,
You know what's interesting is like you used to be really emotional. Like when we were young, like when we first met, like when you were like 17, 18, you were really emotional. And it's interesting to me to see like, so we've been married for a long time and we're still young. The fact that like men in their maturity, like they don't cry. Like from like when I met you, I feel like you cried often. To like now, it's pretty rare when you cry.
yeah,
Yeah, like I felt like when I met you, like we'd have fights or whatever, and like you would express yourself emotionally.
yeah, I was hormonal, and you know,
Maybe, but now
I just wanted you
it's
so badly,
like, I know you did.
and now I locked you down, so I'm good.
Maybe, but like, yeah, it's interesting to me how like that,
What?
like men have such a hard time crying, you know, compared to women.
Dude, when I watch Twilight, it makes me want to cry.
Yeah, I'm sure it.
It is so much emotional baggage. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that stage of my life. Just like this, the moodiest teenagers, just like,
We were watching that last night.
Just sad eyes.
I feel like you were an emotional teenager. That's why you connected.
No,
with
I
that
was
show.
the friend zone guy. I knew all the secrets.
Emotional.
Yeah. And came away with a lot of emotional damage.
So true. That's
Oh, yeah.
true. It's okay. It's all right.
Look, here we are today.
Look where we are today, is right. John just crying on the podcast to show you that he has.
Ooh, if I get to cry on this podcast one day, that'll be...
Okay, next time you come up with those hard questions.
Tui saying next time I need to give John some hard emotional questions and make him cry on the podcast. I could too. It's not that hard. I know where to get him.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What?
Sorry, dude. It's gonna be a rough day for you. Yeah. Well, we'll give it a go. Okay, you get one last quote and we're wrapping her up.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm looking. The reason it's taking so long is because you're in a rush. Big things don't happen on small timelines. Alex Hormozy.
Is that it?
That's it.
So don't forget the word smut. And don't forget that you haunt your regular bar or place of leisure. It's called your regular haunt.
Go watch The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
Or don't, because it's not.
We'll watch it after this. Me and Tui.
Okay.
Hey?
Enjoy.
Yeah, we should watch it.
Tui's like, yay.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Okay, thanks for joining us, guys. This podcast, or this, what? Is it a podcast? I wanted to say this live. I was like, this podcast is sponsored by Fresh Tea and Coffee in Sanganga. Stop by for a coffee on your way through.
But if, Magic Mind or anybody that would want to stimulate brain cells would want to sponsor the podcast on behalf of Stephanie to make her realize what reality we're currently in, we welcome all sponsors
Wow.
to come and be a part of this beautiful experience.
All right. Say goodnight to the troll.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Not yet. It's pretty early.
Okay, we'll do one more before Christmas, but the next one will just be audio. Because we have an audio
Okay.
one that we did last week. So we'll do an
Merry
audio
Christmas month. Bye.
one. Peace.